What happens when there is a difficult student in the class? What will the teacher do in that case? That is the exact confusion that happens when Jupiter and Rahu are in the same house. Hello friends, my name is Hardik and you're watching my YouTube channel on Vedic Astrology, Astrokeen, and today I will be discussing about the conjunction of Jupiter and Rahu. So let's start. So before I start the video, my humble request, please do subscribe to my channel. If you start subscribing to my channel, I get the encouragement to make more such videos. Right, so today we are discussing about the conjunction of Jupiter and Rahu. Let's start with what Jupiter represents, right? Jupiter is the most auspicious planet in the solar system, and it represents some of the great things about life. It represents wealth, it represents fortune, it represents marriages, it represents children, it represents your gurus, your teachers, it represents somebody who's like a fatherly figure. It represents hope, happiness. So Jupiter is about expansion, and expansion is a beautiful way. Whereas Rahu is also about expansion, but Rahu is expansion in a hallucinatory way, in a wrong way, right? So Rahu is about hallucination. Rahu, wherever Rahu is placed in your chart, you have not accomplished that part of life in your previous birth, right? So in this birth, you really want to achieve that. It will not come easy to you, but you really and desperately want to do something regarding to that aspect of life. Rahu can also mean shortcut. Rahu can mean cheating. Rahu can be science. Rahu can mean foreign lands. So Rahu is generally considered as a difficult planet, right? And with whichever planet Rahu is placed, whether it is aspecting or it is in conjunction, what happens is that it kind of eclipses the planet, right? That planet which is with Rahu get eclipsed, because of which the energy, the power, the capabilities of the planet reduces. And that is the same thing that happens when Jupiter comes with Rahu as well. Now, as I have said before, conjunction really work well if the degree between the planet is less than 15 degrees. So if it is like 5, 6, 7 degrees, 4 degrees, 3 degrees, that's a very powerful conjunction. But up to 15 degrees, the conjunction is powerful. Beyond 15 degrees, the effect of the conjunction starts to reduce. Technically, it is still a conjunction. Technically, you may still get the effect of the conjunction, but that effect will reduce once the degree increases. Say, for example, Rahu is at 4 degrees and Jupiter is at 29 degrees, or Jupiter is at 6 degrees and Rahu is at 26 degrees. Then you will see that this is still a conjunction, but the effect of that particular conjunction will reduce. And why it is more powerful if the degree is 3, 4, 5 degrees or so on, is because there is a possibility that these two planets may be in the same constellation or nakshatra. If they are in same nakshatra, the power of the conjunction or the effect of the conjunction will only amplify, right? So you need to look into that and see how strong your conjunction is, how powerful your conjunction is. Now let's look into what happens when Rahu and Jupiter are in the same house. Now Rahu, Jupiter in the same house also signifies a great yoga, or forms a great yoga or a great dosha, which is called as Guru Chandal Dosha or Guru Chandal Yoga, right? Guru here is Jupiter. Chandal is Chandal. What do you mean by Chandal? Chandal is somebody who's mischievous, who's bad, who's like a villain, who's like a person who's very aggressive. That's what Rahu is. Now, I was giving this example at the beginning, right? You are a teacher and you are managing a student, or you're managing 40 students in your class. All of a sudden, the 41st student which enters your class is a very notorious guy. He's a very mischievous guy. He's very arrogant. He doesn't speak with you well. What will happen? Even if those 40 students are great students, are good students, are doing well, and generally you have a great relationship with them, this one particular student can hamper the entire class. And as a teacher, your focus, your concentration will be more toward that one student, and you will kind of ignore those 40 students. You will spend all your energy in managing, in controlling that particular student. That is exactly what happens when Jupiter and Rahu are in the same house. Jupiter is that teacher and Rahu is that notorious student. So Jupiter, instead of doing its own work, it kind of starts spending its energy in controlling Rahu, in managing Rahu, and because of which Jupiter is not able to perform well. So even if Jupiter is well placed in your chart, even if Jupiter is in a good house or a good sign, but because Rahu is with Jupiter, Jupiter will spend more energy in controlling Rahu than giving you what it promises to give if it was present alone in that particular house. There are few things which you need to manage if you have this conjunction. Now, one thing which is possible is that you don't have power to judge things properly. It can be related to anything where this conjunction is getting formed, right? If it is getting formed, say for example in 11th house, you are not able to judge your friends well. With whom should I be friend? With whom I should not be friend? You're not able to judge, maintain your gains well. If it is in the 2nd house, then you're not able to judge your family members well. You're not able to speak properly. You're not able to speak the right thing. You don't know. You're not sure what should work, what should not work. You are not able to manage your assets well. So wherever this house is present, whatever that house represents, you kind of struggle to manage that particular thing. You struggle to manage that resource. You struggle to judge if what I should do and what I should not do related to that things, right? The second thing that can happen is that if this conjunction is there in your chart, you may not behave properly with your gurus, with your teachers, with your fatherly figures, with people who are senior to you, with people who are somebody from whom you may get some kind of knowledge, some kind of gain, some kind of learnings. You don't really see them as a asset. You do not really see them as somebody you should look up to. You do not take them very seriously. You do not give them a lot of importance, and because of which you start disrespecting them. There is possibility of some kind of a friction in this case, right? That there are frictions. You will not be able to respect them. You'll not be able to take their advice well. You'll be thinking that whatever advice they're giving, they're not doing the right thing. And again, as I said before, you don't have the power to judge correctly. So these are the two very difficult aspects of this conjunction which can happen if you have this conjunction in your chart, right? You will be a very intelligent person because there is Jupiter and then there is Rahu. Rahu is intelligent, though in a wrong way, but it is still a very, very intelligent person. And Jupiter is about wisdom, right? So you will have a lot of knowledge, you will have a lot of intelligence, but you don't know how to use that intelligence in a correct way. You don't know whether you are using your intelligence in the right way or in the wrong way. You don't know where and how to apply your intelligence. You may use your intelligence to do wrong things, to do things which are illegal, to do things which are not good, which may harm other or harm you. So that is also a possibility if you have this conjunction. Now the best advice or the best suggestion I can give if you have this conjunction is that take care of your Rahu. If you're able to take care of your Rahu, Jupiter will only become more powerful, and Jupiter will be able to do better things, give you better results, right? How do you take care of Rahu? Do not take any hasty decisions. Think a lot. Take suggestions of people. Go out and reach out to people. Take other people help. Take your family members help to reach out to the right people. Take their guidance. Do not take shortcuts. Yeah, you will have the urge to take shortcuts because there is a planet which gives you wisdom, which is Jupiter, and then there is a planet which believes in shortcuts, short-term gains, right? So you have knowledge, and now you want to use the knowledge in a shortcut way. That can be dangerous. So do not go that way. Do not take hasty decisions, right? If you're able to do that, then your Jupiter will be able to perform because you're trying to control, you're trying to minimize the Rahu energy. The Rahu has to be tamed in this case. The Rahu energy cannot be like an explosion. It cannot be explosive, right? This conjunction is explosive in nature, right? If you have a very powerful Jupiter and Rahu conjunction in your chart, it can be explosive. You can do things which are not required, which are very, very aggressive, which are very, very hyper. You can become a hyperactive person, right? So be careful of that. And the second thing you can do is increase the power of Jupiter. How? By reading more books, by reading more literatures, by becoming more knowledgeable and being more spiritual. Start doing meditation. Start doing things related or associated with meditations, maybe mindfulness, maybe yoga. If you start doing these things, the Jupiter energy will increase, and at the same time, if you do the other things which I've already said, then Rahu energy will reduce, and then you'll be able to manage this dosha. You'll be able to manage this conjunction of Jupiter and Rahu. So that's about it, guys. This is about the Guru Chandal Yoga, Guru Chandal Dosha, or the Jupiter and Rahu conjunction. Thank you for watching my video. Please share my video if you like it. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any feedback, any comment, please mention in the comment below. And whenever I get time, I will try and respond to them. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye and stay safe.